Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome to Leisure Gaming. I am Leisure, and today I'm bringing you the Spies of the Yu-Gi-Oh world, Spirals. So before we get into the deck profile, I want to talk about Spirals for a little bit. Spiral is an archetype that can build some amazing end boards. Unfortunately, that has been cut since we have lost out to the Shadow Realm due to the ban list, but they can still end on a pretty decent board for some negates. They also have a very unique playstyle where you get to look at the top of your opponent's deck and rearrange it to your benefit. And by doing so, you can also special summon other monsters and activate other effects. Just remember what those three cards are, because a well-placed Maxi will disrupt that entire line, and then you'll have to guess after the third card what that card is going to be. Is it going to be monster, magic, or trap? It's just my personal belief that now that the ban list has been implemented and we have a second quick fix, I do believe that we'll probably see this deck profile a little bit more often, and probably even more so in the upcoming months once we have the Illusion of Chaos card, which will allow you to search out your Magician's Soul, which is one of your starters for this deck. So with that said, let's get right into the profile. To start off the deck profile, we're starting with a Jet Synchron. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add one junk monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon this card, but it is banished when it leaves the field. Now, if you don't want to use Jet Synchron, I think a Plague Spreader Zombie could take its place pretty easily. It's a normal card, so you can just create that. If this card is in your graveyard, you can place one card from your hand on the top of the deck and special summon this card, but banish it once it leaves the field. So you have your option of either using the Plague Spreader Zombie or the Jet Synchron. We have two Spyral Quick Fix. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Spyral Gear card from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard and you control a Spyral Super Agent, you can discard one card and special summon this card, but banish it once it leaves the field. One Spyral Gear Drone. If this card is normal or special summon, you can look at the top three cards of your opponent's deck, and if you do, place them on top of their deck in any order. You can tribute this card, then target one Spyral monster you control. It gains 500 attack. For each card your opponent controls, you can banish this card and one Spyral card from your graveyard, then target one Spyral Super Agent in your graveyard and add to your hand. Next, we have three Magician's Souls, which is going to be your starter, your other starter, along with the Quick Fix. You can send up to two spells or traps from your hand and or field to the grave. Draw that many cards. If this card is in your hand, you can send one level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard, then activate one of these effects. Special summon this card, or send this card to the graveyard, then you can special summon one Dark Magician or one Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard. There are no Dark Magicians or Dark Magician Girls in this deck, so you're primarily using it for the first effect to special summon this card. Your only target is going to be your Spyral Master Plan. Next are two Maxis, three Ash Blossoms. Next are two Spyral Super Agents. If this card is in your hand, you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, special summon this card if it is a card of that type. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Spyral card, including itself, you can target one spell or trap your opponent controls, destroy it. Next is one Spyral Tough. This card's name becomes Spyral Super Agent while it is on the field or in the graveyard. Once per turn, you can declare one type of card, monster, spell, or trap, and target one card your opponent controls. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, destroy the targeted card if the revealed card is the declared type. Just remember, for Spyral Tough and for Spyral Super Agent, that we're using Spyral Drone to manipulate the top three cards of your opponent's deck, and that's how we are finding out what those cards are ahead of time, so that way we can activate these effects. One Spyral Gear Last Resort. You can target one Spyral monster you control. Equip this monster from your hand or field to that target. While this card is equipped to a monster by its effect, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Once per turn, if this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, you can send one other card you control to the graveyard. The equipped monster can attack directly this turn. Next are two Spyral Master Plans, which are very important because you're going to cycle this card a lot in this deck. Once per turn, you can add one Spyral Mission card from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Spyral Resort and one Spyral Monster from your deck to your hand, except Master Plan. One Destrudo the Lost Dragon. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can pay half your life points, then target one level 6 or lower monster you control. Special summon this card, and if you do, this card's level is reduced by the level of the targeted monster. Also place this card on the bottom of the deck if it leaves the field. One Spyral Sleeper must be special summoned by banishing 3 Spyral cards from your graveyard and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can target 1 Spyral card you control and up to 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, sent to the graveyard. Destroy as many cards you control as possible, and if you do, special summon 1 Spyral Super Agent from your hand, deck, or graveyard. To get max benefit out of Spyral Sleeper, you're going to use the effect of Spyral Last Resort and equip Spyral Last Resort to Spyral Sleeper. Spyral Sleeper can no longer be destroyed by effects, including itself, so once you activate its effect, you'll target Spyral Sleeper. It won't be destroyed, but then you get to target 2 other cards on your opponent's side, and those cards will be destroyed. And running 1 Nibiru the Primal Being. Going on to the spells, we have 1 Raigeki, which now with the ban list is up to 2, so you could definitely jump this up to 2 if you'd like. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster to clear the backfield. 1 Monster Reborn, if you need to use this to help extend your combo. 1 Foolish Burial, where you have a couple targets. You can either target your Jet Synchron, your main target would probably be the Spyral Master Plan, or your Destrudo. Those are going to be your 3. If you're playing Plague Spreader Zombie, as we mentioned earlier, you can definitely use this as a target for your Plague Spreader Zombie. Next is running 1 for 1. Send 1 monster from your hand to your graveyard. Special summon 1 level 1 monster from your hand or deck. Your main target for this is going to be your Spyral Quick Fix if you don't have it in hand already. Next are 2 Where Art Thou. If you control a level 1 monster, add 1 level 1 monster from your deck to your hand. During the end phase of this turn, take 2,000 damage if you did not normal summon the added monster or card with the same name after activating this card. Your target once again is going to be your Spyral Quick Fix or your Magician Souls, depending on which one you need in hand so that you can continue your combo. Next is 1 Spyral Gear Big Red. Activate this card by targeting 1 Spyral monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, equip this card to it. It cannot be destroyed by battle. Next are 3 Spyral Resorts. Your opponent cannot target other Spyral cards you control with card effect. Once per turn, you can add 1 Spyral monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn during the end phase, shuffle 1 monster from your graveyard into your deck or destroy this card. This card is a soft once per turn, meaning if you have 2 in your hand, you can activate 1, use the effect to search, activate the second to go ahead and search 1 more time. Running 1 Spyral Mission Assault. Destroy this card during your 3rd end phase after activation. Once per turn, if a Spyral monster you control destroys a monster by battle, or if you destroy a cards on the field with Spyral monster's effect you control, you can draw 1 card. You can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon 1 monster from your hand. If everything plays out right, you're going to be primarily using this to special summon your Quick Fix from the graveyard off of Quick Fix effect, so you'll send this to the graveyard, special summon Quick Fix out, and then you'll banish this from your grave to then special summon your drone to help you continue your combo. So now you can look at the top 3 of your opponent's deck and allow you to special summon your Spyral Super Agent, and it will allow you to activate Double Helix's effect to allow you to special summon Master Plan. Of course, we have the 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Forbidden Droplet, 2 Infinite Impermanence. Next are 3 Spyral Mission Rescues, which is a mandatory 3. Destroy this card during your 3rd end phase after activation. Once per turn, you can target 1 Spyral monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Spyral monster in your grave and special summon it. On to the extra deck. We are running 1 Borreload Savage Dragon, 1 Baron de Fleur, 1 Sylvan Princess Sprite. You can detach 1 XE material from this card, excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is a spell or trap, add it to your hand, otherwise send it to the grave. You can send 1 other plant monster from your hand or face up from your field to the grave, then target 1 Sylvan monster in your graveyard and special summon it. We're primarily just using it for the first effect, and you're going to be detaching, always going to be detaching your Spyral Quick Fix, because during the combo, Spyral Quick Fix is going to come back from the grave or maybe special summon from the grave, and if it leaves the field, it's removed from play. But if it leaves the field by XE material, it goes to the grave and it does not get banished. Running 1 Link Karibo, 1 Relinquish Anima, Next is one Spyral Double Helix. This card's name becomes Spyral Super Agent while on the field or in the grave. You can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, and its type matches the declared type, take one Spyral monster from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand, or special summon it to the zone this card points to. Your primary target for this is going to be your Spyral Master Plan. One Nightmare Phoenix, one IP Masquerena. Next, one Barricade Board Blocker. If this card is link summoned, you can discard one card. During the end phase of this turn, add one continuous or field spell from your graveyard to your hand. You can only activate the effect once per turn. Face-up spells you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. When you first summon Barricade Board Blocker, you're definitely going to be sending your Spyral Mission Rescue, because Barricade Board Blocker is going to be made off of your Spyral Master Plan and your Link Karibo. And then your Spyral Mission Rescue will allow you to summon back your Spyral Master Plan. Next is Trigate Wizard. This card gains the effects based on the number of monsters co-linked to this card. One monster or more. If a monster co-linked to this card battles your opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. Two or more once per turn, you can target one card on the field and banish it. Three or more once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. Next, one Curious the Lightsworn Dominion. If this face-up card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while its owner controls it, you can target one card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use each of the following effects of Curious Lightsworn Dominion once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you can send one card from your deck to your graveyard. If a card or cards is sent from your deck to your graveyard by an effect, send the top 3 cards of your deck to your graveyard. Before Hulk was banned, your main target was going to be your Destrudo. Now after Hulk, you can either use the effect to send Destrudo to the grave, or you can send Jet Synchron to the grave. If you already have Destrudo in your hand, your main target at that point is going to be Jet Synchron, and vice versa. Once again, if you choose not to use Jet Synchron and use Plague Spreader Zombie, those will then be your 2 targets, either Plague Spreader Zombie or Destrudo. One Nightmare Unicorn, one Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, one Access Code Talker, and one Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite links to use in pretty much all of my decks to help clear out a boss monster on my opponent's side of the field. Well guys, that is the deck profile for Spirals. I hope that you liked it, and if you did, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and hit subscribe. I definitely think, in my personal opinion, we'll see Spirals a little bit more often, especially with Quick Fix Bayonet 2 and with the Illusion of Chaos on the way in the next couple months. Until next time, later.